top chess players have one thing in common. They all played the Ruy Lopez. And after watching this video, you'll also be able to play it. You also learn how to develop your pieces, the tricks and traps included, how to fight back in the center, and I'll also play a game to show you how effective this opening is. So let's get right to it. To develop your pieces, you play the move e4 to try and take up as much central space, and here opponent responds by e5. Then you play the move knight to f3, attacking that pawn on e5, and knight to c6 is played defending that pawn. And then you bring out your bishop, attacking that knight on c6, and here congratulations, you've already completed the first phase of the opening, which is developing your pieces, and they are now ready to castle. So let's look at the tricks and traps. So here the first trap is activated after knight to f6, then here as white to just castle. But you're just saying we're just giving away a free pawn. That's what we want because we've got rook to e1. Yes, most of the opponents won't even see the top engine line, which is knight to d6, because it doesn't look reasonable. Here black has tried to take over the center, and most likely black is going to play the move d5. Trust me, I've won many matches after the move d5 has been played. So here after d5, here what you just play is just d3, just attack the knight, and after the knight returns, can you see the winning combination? There are two. If you are below 1000, I really recommend the move knight takes e5. Yes, why? Because you're just going to bait your opponent, taking the bishop, and you've got this discovered check. But if you are of higher elo, around 1500, then I really recommend the move bishop takes c6 check, and here after your opponent takes, then you just bring out your bishop to g5. You now understand what's going on. You're going to be attacking the queen, and the next thing is that this pawn is gone, but you're just saying my opponent can fire. Yes, then you are just going to take the pawn. You already see this bishop is pinning the queen, which means that the pawn cannot take the knight. And now that the knight is in a good position, the queen is suffocated. The queen can only come here, and the rook is pointing at the king. So that would be a very stupid move. So definitely you'll be winning here. But you're just saying my opponent isn't that foolish. What if my opponent brings out the bishop? Then you're still winning because you can still take with the knight. Yes, you can still take with the knight. And here, the dangerous thing is that the knight is just going to take this pawn and take this bishop. So most likely, black is just going to castle. You still take on c6 and attacking both the queen and the bishop, and the top engine line, which is the top engine line is to take this bishop and accept to lose the queen, because you have these two, because black we have these two bishops which are powerful. And remember, white won't have a bishop, but I bet that you can win with the queen on the board. You've got a queen, you're a queen up, so you shouldn't lose, even though the engine is same plus 2.4. For a normal human being, that is plus 5, having this baby around. So okay, let's look at the other possibility. If your opponent plays queen here, then you just take the bishop and you're completely winning. You can take the other bishop after the key moves, but after the key moves to h8, I really like the move queen to h5, and the engine still likes it too, because you know what, the knight is coming there with a check and the rook is going. It's a deadly combination. So you're going to start to cook after taking here. So yeah, that's the trap. So yeah, also let's go back to the position of bishop to b5. So we've looked at the response of knight to f6. So another trap can be set after d6 is played. So here, some of you, the reason why d6 is played is to put reinforcements to defend this pawn, because here the plan for white is to take the knight, then you know what, take the pawn. So definitely after the knight, which is the defender of this pawn, is taken, right? After this knight is taken, then here white would want to take this pawn. So here black wouldn't want that. So definitely that would be bad for black. So black usually plays a move like d6. So here, why do you play as white? You just continue, you castle, And after knight to f6, here you just play rook to e1, defending that pawn. And remember, you cannot let black take this pawn, because now these pawns are now defending each other. That won't be wise, so definitely rook e1 is necessary. So here after bishop to g4, here e5 is played. So why e5? Yes, black could be just like, this is a free pawn, but black doesn't even know what the plan is. So you already see, this is a very tactical opening. If black messes around with some moves, like, just imagine it, e4, it's just d4, I mean d4. How can a single small change a game? Well, we are about to see it now, because after the move e5, then here d takes e5 is played, which is also a good move. And here you just surprise your opponent. Knight takes e5. You can take the damn queen, because I got a combination for you. Yes, I got a combination. Knight takes c6 check, king d7, and you take the queen. Yes, and it is a discover check. And here to be stupid for the king not to take, and you just take the bishop. And already in this position, you are 2 points up, which is a good advantage. And this rook is going to be just laser beaming. You've got another bishop which can come out, so you'll be winning as white. So okay, let's go back to the bishop b5 situation. Let me show you another trap, which is the third trap. So the third trap can be set in this position after your opponent just plays here. And you know what comes, kicks out your bishop. Then yeah, your opponent just, plays d6. And after you castle, he plays bishop to g4. So here in this position, you can just do the surprising thing that many do not know. Here you can just play the move h3. Yes, this bishop is annoying. You just play move h3. And here most of the opponents are going to bring the bishop here to maintain that annoying pin to the queen. And do you see the evaluation bar rising? Because you can just literally sacrifice the queen. Yes, the queen doesn't matter. If your opponent takes here, then I guess it's even better for you, because you're just saying, and I'm just going to take this knight. Yes, that's what some of you are saying, but who is saying bishop takes f7 check? Yes, and after the game moves, knight takes now you already see this cheeky fork. And after he takes your bishop, you come to check there, and after he takes, then you bring back the rook. And what is the advantage? The advantage is that you've got all the pawns on the board, but have you noticed that your opponent is missing 2 pawns? So you definitely win this game if you're a good player. If you're not, then you have to work on your endgame. So now that we have looked at the tricks and traps, let's now look at how to invade the center. So here, let's suppose that your opponent is as good as me and plays the proper moves. The proper moves here, the main line, which is the Murphy defense, is played. First, it's a6, the bishop comes back, then knight to f6, then you know what comes, it's castled, and here, bishop to e7. Yes, your opponent doesn't take because it's not that stupid. And here you just play rook to e1, now defending, because if the knight takes and you fire, remember the bishop is now blocking the king, right? So which means that the king is safe. And after that, b5 is usually played, attacking the bishop, because if b5 is not played, if any silly move, maybe like just castling, definitely like just castling here, then you have the advantage. You can just take on c6, and after your opponent takes, then you've got this free pawn. Yes, you'll be a pawn up. So your opponent definitely doesn't want that nonsense. So most likely your opponent is going to play the move here, this position. Your opponent is going to play the move b5, and after that your opponent castles. So here in this position, that's when you try to invade the center. In a perfect world, you can just play c3, your opponent plays this, d6, then you play d4. And you've got a very nice position where they're a beginner, an intermediate, or a master. Even though it says it's a draw, you've got control of the center, you can push this pawn, and you've got an advantage. Yes, a slight advantage, but it's very, very, very good. But yeah, sometimes the world isn't fair. So here, be very careful as white if you see d5. Why am I saying that? It's a pretty good gambit, because here after take you're just going to say it's a very free pawn here, and after trade-off I'm a pawn up, so press chess. What I tell you to be careful of, I'm attacking this knight, I've got a cool position. If you actually see it, after c6, d4, bishop to d6, you already see what's happening. Black gave away a pawn for counterplay at the king, and after the rook returns to e1, the queen is coming up. And me, I'm a very ruthless person. Let me just turn off the evaluation bar. How can you defend in this position if you play this move? Literally, like a sec. If you think that I'm lying to you, yes, black is already winning. Yeah, it's with 1 point advantage, because after it takes back, and here, if you play funny things, if you just play funny move, maybe like knight to d, then it's made in 4, the queen is coming down, and let me tell you some news, the queen ain't just coming down, the queen is coming here, the queen is coming to h3, and yeah, after king to g1, there's bishop to h2 check, the king returns here, then there's bishop to g3 check, and you know what's coming. Yes, I guess you know what's coming, and yeah, the game is practically over. So okay, let's just say this is a terrible position, so you need to avoid this attack. So I've already told you need to avoid this attack, so definitely let's go back. So if you see the move d5 be played, please do not just take and rush and enjoy, because it's not a very good thing, and it's known as the martial attack. So here, how do you resist the martial attack? Yes, given that it's played, because I know that a lot of you are going to play c3 and go for the set, you can just take it after your opponent takes, you just relax, just play d3, you're opening up for your bishop. Yes, it might look like a passive weak move, but it will help you lock up. You can also be a bit weird, a4. Yes, why? Because if your opponent takes, then it's better for you. You already see your advantage starts to go up, you're already winning, because you've got bishop takes a4, and yeah, this knight, your bishop is now much more powerful. Not that. Your bishop is not much more powerful here, so you definitely have that, and the rook now has an open file, so you have that advantage and much more counterplay. So those are the ways to respond. And here, if you don't even want this move to be played at all, here you just start it, just play d4, but you just say, either I'm just going to give away a pawn. No, you ain't. You are just going to attack. Yes, you can attack. Here, that's what you can do, but you most likely your opponent is not going to take it. It's going to take that, and you take back, that it takes back, you're going to attack. And the good thing about this attack is that the knight has nowhere to go. The knight can only go back. And you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4 dead pieces. At least you've got 1, 2 attacking active pieces. Black has got 5 pieces on the back rank, and the knight cannot be developed. So that's a very good position. Even though the agent puts 0.1, I said I'll just switch off the evaluation bar, and you already see as white you feel very good. And yeah, and here some options that you can play. You can just continue with c3, and if your opponent takes the bell, it's now how many? 3 versus how many? 1. 3 pieces versus 1, so you'll be completely winning. So here, what usually high rated players play, they usually play the move c5, was they want to activate their queen at least, and they have at least a lot of pieces activated. Here, if they play that, you just take, and they don't think that they are going to be stupid and take and just make life easier for you by making sure that your queen is developed. No, they are going to just go create a blockade. And if they create a blockade, just bring back your bishop, and your bishop will scope in here. Yes, you'll be ready to attack. So I guess that I've already taught you how to respond, and I've already taught you how to strike back to the center. Now let's go and check out the game. Okay, my game has begun. So I'll play e4, and the whole plan is to bring out knight to f3, and after knight to c6, then I go bishop to b5. And now I've entered into the Ruy Lopez. So here in this position, remember you castle, and here if your opponent takes, then yeah, you've got rook to e1, and if your opponent returns, then you can just, well, you can just take the knight. You also have a move like bishop to f1. Yes, this is part of the theory. So this person is definitely a high rated player, and I chose advanced level for a reason. So I'm just going to take his pawn. So bishop to e2 is the top engine line, then I take his pawn, then d4. So that is the plan. So my opponent has played perfect piece play, because after this, takes, castles, then d4 is the top engine line, and I'm going to play it right away. And he's got bishop to f6, rook back to e1, and then you can develop something else. So I can predict my opponent moves because I know how to play this opening. So I'm quite flexible here as white. My goal is to bring the bishop to this scope, maybe play knight c6. Oh, definitely what an advantageous move this is. Oh, this is attacking the pawn. So here, then bring out my bishop. So I'll have a pretty comfortable position here, and I can bring out my queen too. Okay, so first bring out my bishop, and now these bishops are now, yeah, they're now lazy being down, showing the power of the scopes. And here black has got quite a challenging position, but not the best position. So here in this position, here I'll just play the move queen here. I'll just bring out the queen. I don't think there's anything bad with playing this move. I could, if my opponent plays here, then I'll just retreat the queen. The next thing I'm going to be trading off, and it's going to be quite a good game for me. So what I want is my opponent to create this weakness first. Yes, I knew that, and I can just retreat here. I just got this move. I don't want my opponent to gain any table, so I'll return the queen back. So what I can do is now trade off this knight and bring out the bishop here. Okay, my opponent is locking up the position. So for the meantime, I'm just going to bring in on my knight, improve my position. Yeah, like this. If it takes, I take back. Oh, this is a pretty tricky trade. So first, here in this position, you take here. Then after that, you then take in the middle. You then take here, attacking this bishop and giving this rook an open fire. Yes, black does pose some threats, but this position is fairly equal. Yeah, I guess those are the consequences of playing against an advanced player in chess. And black is considered not even trading off this bishop because, yes, I knew black definitely is a principal chess player. So here in this position, you know what's coming next. The bishop goes into this nice position there. So here in this position, we just bring out the bishop, and the goal of this move is to attack the rook, destabilize it, then I'll bring out the queen. Yes, then the queen comes to the center here like this, attacking the bishop, and I'm putting pressure. Obviously, I've got plans, but I cannot execute them. So I've just decided to put my queen into a very comfortable position that if my opponent tries to mess around, like playing moves like this, you know what's coming. In this position, it's quite tricky. The bishop is coming here and my opponent is planning an aggressive attack. Well, I guess just moving this pawn. And the good news is that my opponent cannot sack the bishop. If my opponent sacks the bishop, then check, then check. Yeah, the bishop sacrifice will be extremely weak because my queen is defending. So I'm quite powerful. Yes. This is what my opponent is doing, smelling those weaknesses. So definitely playing against an advanced player has got consequences. Like, yeah, they are pretty sensitive to smelling weaknesses. They definitely smell weakness in my position, and what I just have to do is to defend. Yes, it's not an easy game indeed. Then so it's just going to be exchanging blows, and I'm just going to be taking pieces. No negotiations for that. Attack the queen and yeah, go for mate. And my opponent is going into the raw position now. I'm going for mate, and I don't see any way my opponent can stop me. So I've won my first game now with the Ruy Lopez, and it's amazing because this is a new account and I'm playing against advanced players. So yeah, I've won my game. Subscribe for more content. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next video.